All right, y'all, we're ready to finish up. One of the first things that you want to look at when you're putting the finishing touches on your wreath is what doesn't stand out. What do you need to do to make elements that you really wanted to put in your wreath stand out? We've got a lot of dark in here. We got some cream and things like that. But my black elements aren't standing out as well as I would like them. So the first thing that I want to do is I want those black elements to stand out. And I want to put a little bit more cream in to help that. So I'm going to use my 2.5 ribbon to make a couple of hand bows to add in. And the first one that I want to start with is up here because I have a lot of space still up here. So that's where I want to start. Typically what I do, I don't want my tail to really be longer than my ribbon tails. You can either measure it like that or you can just measure it down on your table, whichever you're more comfortable with. It's going to be about 7 inches. And then make your loop. I kind of want an exaggerated loop. Pretty big. Not that big, but kind of exaggerated. And then you pinch your ribbon together. So this is my tail, my underneath ribbon. Now I'm going to twist that 180 degrees so that my good side's up, and then fold my ribbon under. And then what I do is I bring my 2 loops up together to make sure they're the same length, and then I make my pinch. And then once again now I'm going to twist so that my tail's the right side up. And before I cut it, I'm just going to tie it in using one of the ties. Now what I want to do is my existing ribbons that I already had down as my ribbon tails, I want to pull those out so they really stand out and show. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put another one. And we're going to do this in a group of 3. The reason we're going to do this in a group of 3 is that odd numbers actually help your eye flow around your wreath. So one of the things that I'm looking at is if I put one here, it's going to make it go left to right. If I put one here, it's going to make it go left to right. Now, to be honest, I would rather it go left to right here than up here. But it kind of doesn't matter. This ribbon tail is covered up. This one isn't. So to keep the flow, we're going to go right here. Now, because I want to add more gold, and we don't need to add more black, and I kind of want to give this a really, how do I say, fun look, I'm going to add a little bit more of the striped ribbon. And I'm going to start right up here at the candy corn, right here, so that the candy corn will show up. And once again, I'm going to do that with some hand bows. So you see how the tip of the candy corn stands out better now and it's not hidden by the black? And to keep this in groupings of 3, we're going to come around and add one right here next to the witch's leg. So we do have one more spot that we have to deal with before we add in a couple of the ornaments that I want to add in to really finish this up, and that is a spot up here. It's empty, it's right above the pumpkin, it's right here. So in order to deal with that, to keep a flow going for the wreath, which is kind of hard to see, let me flip this around so that you can see what I'm talking about. It's right here. And I really want to keep the flow going of the wreath. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of using ribbon or anything like that, I'm going to place a little golden pumpkin on top. Now I've got 2 different shapes that I might use. And I kind of don't really like that, y'all. I think I would rather not. We're not. We're not. We're going to go with my first gut instinct. And we're going to move this bow. And we're going to go back to listen to what your design gut tells you. We're actually going to move this bow over here. And I will show you why. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put a larger leopard print bow on this side. I'm going to start out, and I'm just going to make this by hand, y'all. So I'm going to start out with the diamond print on the top. I make my bows from the top down when I do them by hand. And then I want to bring some of that solid gold back in. No, actually we're going to use the copper stripe, y'all. And then I'm going to come in with the leopard print. Now, if you don't have good hand strength, I don't recommend tying bows by hand. Like so. So last thing I want to do is I want to put some solid pops in, y'all. What I mean by solid pops of color is, I mean solid, something that is solid. We have a lot of prints going on, so we definitely need something solid. I chose to do this with some gold. I got these from Sims Pottery. The solid pops, what they do is they're going to help us tone down all of the prints. They're going to help them show up, tone down. With this wreath being so large, I definitely want to put these in more than just 3 places. To really bring in some solid color. So we can use these. This is an option I just wanted to show you. Or you can do it with picks. So let me show you the kind of picks that I would use. I love buying picks that you can tear apart and not spend much money on to get the effect that you want. This is one of those picks. Now in a garland, you can leave it together. You can tear it apart. All the tips on this are the same size. So that's one of the things that I focus on, is making sure like all of the branches basically are the same size. So it's one of the things that I focus on when I'm thinking about purchasing picks that I can tear apart. This is almost a fern style pick. So if you're kind of cringing and you're not ready for glitter, this is not going to be the pick for you, y'all. It's pretty messy. But this is definitely the pick for our project. For sure. We can even put a little bit of gold in the middle of our bow to really start tearing down, or not tearing down, but breaking apart some of this print to help our print stand out. This is so lightweight and everything, I'm just going to hot glue it right in. And I'm going between my layers of ribbon, basically. And I'm going up to the tie to give the pick something to hang on to. And then just to add just a hint more glam, I'm gonna rip 3 of these off. And we're gonna put them directly in the center of these bows. And I'm gonna glue that right down to the tie itself. And that's to keep the glam going in the center of that solid rust color. Now this is, yes, a really loaded down over the top wreath. Does every wreath have to be this loaded down? Does every wreath have to be this over the top? Absolutely not, y'all. Don't ever think that it has to be this loaded or this over top for you to have a successful business. There are millions of people out there that don't like over the top, so if this is out of your comfort zone, it's okay, y'all. And don't feel bad about it. Always remember, different strokes for different folks. And we all don't have to be the same. So the last thing I always do is get my ribbon back to where it belongs. I get it ready for its close-up, y'all, to take a picture. And just like that, y'all, we've got a lot of glam. A lot, y'all. Isn't that gorgeous, y'all? Thank y'all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I can't wait to see what you create. Thank y'all so much. Bye.